All right, today we're going on a bit of a treasure hunt right through the Indian state of Karnataka. But we're not talking about chests of pirate gold here. Nope. We're digging for the raw materials that literally build nations. This incredible mineral wealth that fuels our entire modern economy. And it's all hidden right under our feet. And of course, every good treasure hunt needs a map, right? Well, here's ours. This is our guide, and it's going to pinpoint exactly where Karnataka's most valuable minerals are buried. So, what do you say? Let's start digging. This quote really hits the nail on the head. We're not just talking about interesting rocks. We're talking about the absolute bedrock of an entire economy. These minerals, they build industries, they create jobs, they fuel development. This isn't just an adventure. It's a look inside the engine room of the state. Okay, so our first stop is for the mineral that forms the very backbone of modern industry, iron ore. This stuff is what forges a state's strength, both literally and, economically. So just how big a player is Karnataka when it comes to iron? Well, get this. It's the second largest producer in all of India, right after Odisha. That's a massive, massive contribution to the nation's industrial power. But listen, it's not just about quantity, it's about the quality. And the quality here is fantastic. A whopping 63% of the iron ore they find here is high-grade magnetite. We're talking the premium stuff, absolutely perfect for manufacturing top-notch steel. So where do we put the X on our treasure map? Well, the major deposits are in the Bellary district, especially in spots like Sandor and Donimalai. But you'll also find huge reserves in the famous Baba Budangiri Hills, Kudramukh, and all across the Chitradurga and Tumakuru districts. These are the real hotspots. And this is where it all comes together. That ore gets supplied to massive factories, like the Vishvesharaya Iron and Steel Plant and Jindal Vijayanagar. And in there, it's transformed into the steel that builds, well, everything, from the cars we drive to the skyscrapers that shape our cities. Now, iron rarely works alone. It's got a key partner in crime for creating strong steel. And that brings us to our next treasure, manganese. So if iron is the backbone, you can think of manganese as the versatile do-it-all all-arounder with a ton of surprising uses. In fact, it's so versatile, it's earned a special nickname. You ever heard of a mineral being called the jack of all trades? Well, you're looking at the answer. It's manganese. And here's why. Yeah, it's a key ingredient for strengthening steel, but that's just the start. It's essential in the chemical and electrical industries. It's used to make fertilizers, for printing on fabrics. It's even in the paint on our walls. I mean, this stuff is truly everywhere. And just like with iron, Karnataka is an absolute powerhouse here, ranking second in India, once again right after Odisha. But what's really wild is that a full 90% of the state's entire output comes from just one area, Sandor in the Ballari district. Incredible. All right, let's switch gears for our third treasure. We're moving from heavy metals to a lightweight champion. We're talking about bauxite. That's the humble ore that gives us the incredibly light and incredibly useful metal, aluminum. The process is pretty simple. You mine the raw bauxite ore, you refine it, and poof, you get aluminum. But its applications are everywhere. I mean, this lightweight metal is a cornerstone of modern life, used in everything from airplanes and electric wires to cement and even the foil in your kitchen. In Karnataka, the main stashes of bauxite are found in the districts of Belagavi, Chikamagaluru, and Udupi. And what's really cool is a lot of this ore is used right there in the state at the Indian Aluminum Company factory located in Belagavi. And now for our final and definitely most famous treasure. For centuries, Karnataka has been known far and wide as the land of gold, and we're about to unearth that precious, glittering legacy. Okay, this number is just staggering. Karnataka produces 80%, 80 of all the gold in India. It's not just a leading producer. For decades, it pretty much was the gold industry in the country. This state absolutely dominates the landscape. And the heart of this legacy is, of course, the legendary Kolar goldfields, or KGF. People knew there was gold here since ancient times, but large-scale mining really kicked off back in 1880. For over a century, these mines produced an insane amount of wealth. But today, they're exhausted. They're no longer operational. And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, the Champion Reef mine in KGF was the deepest gold mine in the world. It plunged 3,217 meters into the earth. That's over 3 kilometers straight down. Just try to imagine that. But the story of gold in Karnataka isn't over. Not at all. The treasure hunt has simply moved. Today, all the action is at Hutti, in the Raichur district, which is now the single biggest gold mine in all of India. The legacy continues. So let's do a quick recap of our treasure hunt. We've unearthed iron, the backbone of industry, versatile manganese, the jack of all trades, bauxite, the lightweight champion, and of course, legendary gold. Each one is a totally vital piece of Karnataka's economic puzzle. And this leaves us with a final, really crucial question. The story of Kolar is a powerful reminder that even the richest treasures are finite. They don't last forever. So as today's mines are eventually exhausted, the treasure hunt has to continue.